All right. So hello, hello. I am going to wait a little bit until people come on. And I'm going to do something a little bit different tonight. And I'm really excited about it. But let me get all set up so that I can do that. Turn this down. And I'm going to wait for people to come on. So I am super excited to see you guys tonight. This is something that I have been coaching a lot of people on lately. And I want to make sure that everybody has this information. So, all right, looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little bit different. So I may not respond to your comments because I want to make sure that I stay focused and I can get all of the information out to you in a very clean and concise way. So if I talk about something tonight that doesn't feel light within you and it feels really heavy and it doesn't really make sense to you, that's okay. Then you can just disregard everything that I say. It doesn't matter really. But if it feels light inside of you and you go, yeah, you know, this feels like information that I've been wanting to know lately, and I'm really glad that you're sharing this information, then continue to keep watching and continue to keep, hi Dominique, to stay with me on this one. So it's a little bit different. This isn't actually an oil class, although there'll be some talk about oils in here, but this is actually a talk about energy, vibration, and there was something, in our emotions and how those all work together, and everything that I've learned in the last year or so, or 2 years or whatever, and I've kind of all put it together in a nutshell to help you understand kind of a little bit more about yourself and about how you go through life. And so I'm really excited to kind of share this with you. So let me go ahead and switch on over here. So I'm not going to be able to see you, and I'm totally okay with that, I think. Let me see if I can make this a tiny bit smaller. I can, but then I can't really see it. Not a big deal. I'm just going to go with it. I can't really see your comments. So if you have a question, please write your question down and I'll get back to it after this class is over. And if I'm not saying hi to you, it's just because I can't see that you're there. So I happened to see that Dominique was there, so I got to say hi to her. And so I'll come back on at the end and I'll say hi to everybody and just say thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Okay, so before we begin though, I would like to open up my energy centers inside of my body. So we have chakra systems, which are scientifically proven that we have these chakra systems inside of our body. We have major ones, I think 7 major ones. And then we have more tinier ones all over our body, but I'm going to go ahead and open up my major ones so that when I'm speaking with you tonight, that I have a good clean energy around what I'm saying. And then let me make sure that I'm on here too. So give me a second. Make sure that you can see me, because this is going to be the only way I can see if I'm actually on. Okay, cool. All right, so this I'm going to use first on my crown. So I have 7, so you can see. I have all of the oils right here. I've made them. And this one right here. So I'm going to use, and they're all color coded because that's how your chakra systems are, how people explain them. But I'm going to first use this one on my crown chakra. And then I'm going to open up my 3rd eye chakra with some oils and make sure that I am good. And then my throat chakra to make sure that I can speak clearly and I feel like I'm being heard. And then my heart chakra. And then my solar plexus and my sacral chakra. And maybe I'll do a class one day to talk about all of these so you understand what these are. And my root chakra. Give me 1 second just to put these on my feet, and then we'll get started. So I'm going to do that. I got those on all my chakras. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put some frankincense under my tongue, because frankincense is a super high vibration oil. I'm pretty sure that rose oil is the highest vibration. I thought it was frankincense, but through my research, I've learned that it's actually rose oil. So I'm going to go ahead and use frankincense oil, because frankincense oil is the oil of truth. And I want to make sure that whatever I'm conveying to you tonight is actually spoken from my heart, and my intention is pure, and it's for truth and clarity. Okay, so there we go. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to talk about, first of all, I'm going to start with a little prayer, just silencing myself to make sure that I stay in a really good space. So give me one moment. Okay. All right, so we're going to talk about energy and vibration and our emotions. So let's begin. Have you ever met a person that has a strong positive energy that you just love to be around? And just by standing next to that person, you feel uplifted, you feel inspired. What is it about that person that you just love? Is it the way they speak, the way they carry themselves, or is it what they say and how they say it to you? These people are magnetic and blessed beyond belief, and you wonder yourself, are they happy because they are blessed, or are they blessed because they are happy? And what are we really saying when we like someone's vibe? That's a question that I'm gonna cover tonight, okay? Let me give you a little bit of background knowledge though before we begin. The law of energy is a law of the universe that basically says that everything is energy. Everything vibrates, and vibrations attract similar vibrations. Well, if everything is energy, then we are energy. That means we vibrate and we attract vibrations similar to what we are emitting. There you go, there's a better word. So, and then also the law of vibration says nothing rests and everything in the universe moves and vibrates. Whether we can physically see the vibration or not, everything has energy and vibration. Well, that's awesome. What does that look like for us? What does that look like in our bodies? What does that mean? Well, if you picture your DNA working like a tuning fork, where the different forks have different distinct frequencies, like adjusting a piano, if you tap two tuning forks together, they instantaneously can alter your body's chemistry by transducing the physical energy into nervous system energy. And there's lots of people who actually use tuning forks for healing. So there's a whole science in that, and it's amazing. It's amazing. But some of those tuning forks can be pricey. And so it's something to look into if you're interested. Okay, to explain this further though, DNA is composed of cells. Cells are composed of molecules. Molecules are composed of atoms, which are quantum particles called electrons and protons. Taking you all the way back to 6th grade on that one. So depending on how fast all of these microscopic particles spin inside of our body on this quantum level determines our internal vibration. If you could see these waves, it would look very similar to brain waves, sound waves, light waves, because everything vibrates. We vibrate. This vibration within us is called our DNA wave. A DNA wave is composed of all of the cellular waves and also referred to as our internal frequency, our vibration, or our energy. So it's no coincidence that some of the words that we use actually do correspond to things that are happening inside of our body. We talk about our energy. My energy is low. I have too much energy. Or we talk about vibration. Oh, when I walked into the room, I felt the vibe. I like the vibe of that restaurant, or something of that sort, right? Okay, well, that's pretty cool and interesting. There are no limits within quantum physics because this type of scientific examination of our world has no space or time. Therefore, as per the law of energy that we were just talking about, we can only attract similar vibrations that we ourselves are emitting. Okay, so according to Dr. Horowitz, an expert on frequency, he says the Earth has a vibration of 528 hertz. Our human frequency fluctuates depending on our emotional state, and I'll get into this more in a little bit in a minute. So if you want to feel grounded, because what happens is I explain this to people as I'm coaching, they say, okay, well, what do I do to get the vibration that I want? How can I attract the things that I want? What do I need to do? What do I need to change? Well, first off, if you want to feel grounded, you must tune yourself to the vibration of the earth. So how can you do that? Spending time in nature, walking in the grass barefoot, or even hugging trees can help you connect and align to her energies. The simplest way to do it is to eat her colorful fruits and vegetables that were born out of her soil. That transfers her physical energy into our cellular and nervous system energy, has phytochemicals and nutrients, were very protective and very nourishing to our body. Her energy is protective and is the most nourishing for our bodies. Because the earth is changing so rapidly, it is vitally important now more than ever to find as many ways possible to connect to the earth energies. It will make you emotionally stronger. It'll make you energetically vibrant and grounded and physically resilient. So let me continue. So when we're surrounded by the business of man-made structures, it separates us from the earth's beauty, which is how we connect intimately and emotionally to her. So being in the presence of her majestic mountains and her exquisite waters, that can vibrationally change your cellular structure. And how that happens is through the emotional response that you have to the beauty of the earth. When you go see something like the Grand Canyon, or just a beautiful waterfall, maybe Niagara Falls or something like that, something happens within you emotionally. And that allows you to change your vibration, to tune yourself to the earth, to whatever is happening around you. Okay, so it's through all of this, it's through all of our cellular energy that we communicate with each other and everything around us on a quantum level. Like humans, the earth's energy is always expanding. And so when we are disconnected from her, we miss the opportunity to expand energetically as well. And this disconnection is a missed opportunity for our growth. And it's really hard on our cellular structure. It makes us feel unbalanced, and it messes with our emotions. So when we hold on too tightly to our old energy and we just don't want to give it up because we're attached to it, we feel stuck, we still feel sick, imbalanced, and just overall not right on any level. And to keep this simple, let me explain something a little bit further. So I'll give you some more background knowledge. To keep it simple, the emotional guidance scale, or the Dr. David Hawkins, MD, PhD scale of consciousness, I guess you could call it, has assigned numbers to each emotional state, which reflects the frequency or the energy that we're emitting from our cellular structure. And so he says the heavier the emotion feels inside, the lower our frequency is. And the higher the number is on the scale, the lighter we feel and the higher we can vibrate internally. So the scale ranges anywhere from 0 to, so 0 meaning no light, only darkness, to 1,000, which is pure, intense white light or God energy. My kids are being silly. Okay, so Dr. Hawkins explains in his book, it's called Power versus Force. He says that 85% of the world's population has a low internal frequency, and most people live in a low vibrational emotional state. These lower vibrations include feelings like shame, which would be 20 on the scale, guilt, which is 30, apathy, which is 50, grief, which is 75, fear, which is 100, and anger, which is 150. Well, that's a really long way from 1,000, which is the energy that creates worlds. So some of these lower energy emotional states are buried deep within us subconsciously and held onto, sometimes we hold onto these with a very tight grip by our inner critic. And it's the constant negative private brain chatter that runs us on autopilot. So let me move on. I'm sorry, I got a little bit distracted with my kids a little bit, but let's move on. So, okay. Although I love social media for connection, and being able to grow and expand, and being able to help people grow and expand who they are. Um, and a lot of you know this because some of you guys want to disconnect yourself from Facebook every now and then because you can feel that there's lower energies. These lower energies can be seen widespread as you scroll through your feeds. Now, news media and commercials, they perpetuate these lower energies, these lower emotional states, because they're very good at separating us and making us feel very unworthy. They create fear with fake news, and they make mountains out of molehills. So being in a constant vibration below 200 is extremely destructive and diminishing to our beautiful quality of life. And it robs us from being able to attract the blessings that we deserve. So let's take a look at the higher vibrations. What is that? How can we vibrate higher? Well, we first got to know what vibrating higher is. The pure loving state of bliss, joyousness. Let's see. So pure loving state would be bliss, joyousness, peace, gratefulness. Those are high vibration states of being. And then it's the numbers on the scale range from 500 to 700 and above. Yeah, peace, love, joy, acceptance, and even our openness to learning something new. So those are where we have the most positive expansion in our lives. If you can think back to the times that things have worked out for you and things have just come to you so easily and it's been so beautifully, well, that was probably a time in your life when you were living, or a time when you were living in a higher vibration. And this is where it's called our flow state. And it's where we receive the most blessings. So the flow state is where we can begin to manifest easily and with greater speed. And that's where you kind of want to spend most of your time. It's not going to be all the time that you stay in the flow state or stay in this higher vibration. What happens is that we do dip down because we have to have contrast in order to create desire, in order to create a want, and to otherwise, we just kind of stay complacent and we just kind of stay where we are. But if we have these dip downs every once in a while, that'll help us want to expand and do more with our lives. So, but anything lower than 310 on the emotional scale, we start to lose our willingness to learn something new. And these feelings close us off. They contract us and constrain us. These feelings include shame, guilt, apathy, fear, anger, pride, and even neutrality. This is where we start to feel victimized and out of control of our lives. We give our power away and our vision perishes. Without a vision, you have nothing. So this is where we start to feel abused, and it dims our light and makes it harder for us to attract the love and blessings that we so desire. Okay, so let me stop there for a second because there's something else I need to explain. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so on another note, when faced with emotional or physical trauma, this is really important, and you got to really hear what I'm saying when I'm talking about this. Okay, when faced with emotional and physical trauma, it changes us on a quantum level as well. When this happens, our energetic vibration is dependent on the severity of the emotional attachment that we assign to it. I go over this in my emotions class, but basically trauma, when you have trauma in your life, what happens is you have an emotion that surrounds that trauma. And when we release that emotion, we actually can release the trauma or the limiting beliefs or the things that hold us back in life from that trauma. Okay. So what this means is that the more we attach a story to validate our pain, the lower we vibrate, and the lower the frequencies we'll be able to resonate with. So my advice is, from everything that I've learned in my life this far, my advice is it's best to feel the emotions, the negative emotions when they happen to you, when you feel them, it's best to feel them intently without allowing yourself to get stuck there. It's okay to have a negative emotion, It's hard on you when you attach a story to it and you're stuck. Emotions only last for 90 seconds if you don't put a story to it. So it's really important that you feel the emotion, you understand what it is, and you allow yourself to release from it. So becoming stuck. So becoming stuck in our pain prohibits us from growing and learning from the emotional experience on a deep and profound level. That's part of how we grow. And so anyway, let me move on. So okay, let me put it this way. So we all know people who have been married to their pain. We have prayed for these people for their emotional release. I'm not saying that you should jump for joy at every time that you have a painful experience in life, but I am encouraging you to move through the experience emotionally as quickly as possible and to allow yourself to be okay with what it is. And I'm telling you right now that it's okay to release the emotions that are around your pain. You are not a bad person because you're let the emotion go or you process the emotion. Nobody says you have to be stuck in your pain or married to your pain. You decide how long that pain is going to last with you and what you're going to do with that and what you're going to learn from it. Okay, everything, especially our pain, they're learning lessons. And what are you going to learn from your pain? What was your lesson? What did you learn? So the next question that people ask me after that is they say, well, how do we access the emotional states that help us to vibrate higher? Like, what if I can't feel happiness? Or what if I can't get there? You know, what if I've tried? What can I do? How can I learn to vibrate higher so that I can feel the love and abundance that I desire and that I deserve? Well, all right. First thing that you want to do is you want to recognize and pay attention to your emotional states with the understanding that your emotions are the key to your attraction. If you are feeling unloved, you will attract people that cannot love you the way you need them to love you. If you are feeling victimized, you will attract people that will validate those feelings for you by attacking you, offending you, or harming you in some emotional way. So the goal is to tune yourself to vibrations all around you. They're there. You just have to see them. You have to know that they're there. You have to start to recognize the blessings that are all around you so that you can vibrate higher. So some things that you can do, and I did this today in the car and I was telling my friend about it, is I'll explain in a second, but things that you can do are like dancing, listening to your favorite songs and singing. They cost nothing and they are fun. So today I was in the car and I was waiting at a stoplight to turn. And there were cars coming in front of me and cars that were turning. And I had the radio on and it was high vibration music and I was dancing and I was singing loud and I didn't care who was around me. And I'm telling you, what happened is people felt that vibration. And as they turned and saw me, a lot of people danced with me and they were having a good time. They're like, yeah, And so just by that action, not only did I raise my own vibration, but the people that wanted to resonate with me, they did. And it allowed them the opportunity to do that as well. So we have the ability to instantaneously emotionally connect to music. So use it. Music that elicits a sad response is great for releasing emotions. Sad meaning, those ones that you used to use when you were in middle school or whatever, and you had those horrible things that were happening to you, and you turned those sad songs on and you cried in your bedroom. Those are great for releasing emotion. But there's also music that can elicit energetic sounds that can light us up emotionally as well. Another great thing, and some people are resistant to it, is meditation. And meditation is for you. And it doesn't take very long. It takes maybe 15 minutes a day. And there's easy ways that you can fit that in there. The best way to do it is when you wake up, just sit right up, put your timer on for 15 minutes and sit silently and give yourself a moment to to clear some like thoughts and to change your brain chemistry, because it has long-term effects. Meditation does. And it's a great way to give yourself a daily tune-up and start with your best foot forward. So the funny thing is okay, so you got to go to work. So meditation and break it down, dance and song is, you can't do it at work, right? How are you going to be able to do that at your workplace or some kind of social setting? You're not going to just be like, everybody's talking to you and they're getting on your nerves. You just stop and go, I'm going to meditate. You can't just start breaking out in a song like, I don't know, and just start dancing or whatever. They're going to think you're nuts. They're going to think you're crazy. So what can you do? Well, you have a nice little tool. It's easy to use and it's fabulous. So what you can do is you can use pure therapeutic essential oils, or you can use crystals, because you can use those and people won't think that that is out of the norm or out of the ordinary. Lots of people use oils. Lots of people have crystals on them. So no big deal. So why would you want to use oils? Let's start there. I mean, this is my jam. This is my thing. So why do I use oils? What is it? What makes them so great? Well, oils vibrate high. And when you use them, they make positive changes to the chemical makeup of your DNA. They can break, most of them can break through the cellular wall. That's awesome. So what happens is it transmutes your vibration. That's awesome. So the thing is that consistency is key with oils. You can't just use them once and think like you're going to be forever changed. It doesn't work that way. You have to be consistent. You have to give it time. If you've only used it for a couple of months and well, first of all, you have to be using the right oils. I use doTERRA oils. If you want doTERRA oils, I can help you get those oils. I can help you learn how to use those oils. I have a Facebook page that's completely dedicated to teaching you how to use oils and teaching you all about the membership and everything. So you can do that. And so just reach out to me. But basically, when you are in a stuck state, let's put it that way, you're stuck, okay? You would want to use your oils every 15 to 30 minutes. Every 15 to 30 minutes until you feel your emotional vibration inside of your body. You feel your internal frequency is rising. Okay, well, that's a good sign. Do it every 15 to 30 minutes that day. It's just going to process like a vitamin and be done. As long as it's, diluted and good to go, you can use that oil as much as you want. It's okay. I do. I'm still here. I don't have anything crazy thing happen to me. Okay, so, and you can agree with that or not. But this is, I'm teaching you what I do and what I have done. If it works for you, great. I'm happy to help you. So, so you want to use it every 15 to 30 minutes until you have the desired vibration inside of you you feel like you're good. And then after that, you want to continue to use those oils at least 3 times a day. 3 times a day to balance your body, to balance your system. I use my chakra oils every day. Sometimes I use them 3 and 4 times a day. It depends. And sometimes I use them even if I know that my chakras are open anyway. I'll use them anyway because I want to put my best foot forward. I want to be the best that I can be at all times. Okay. So for maintenance, you can use oils, like I said, a minimum of 3 times a day. It's good to have a daily regimen of oils and to switch them up as your life changes. So what happens is in the beginning, you start to use oils based on your symptoms. So, I got something going on with me. I got some seasonal threats. I have some occasional pain, things like that. Then you would start to use your oils. Oh, well, I guess I use that oil for that. And I use that oil for that. And you start to learn them in that way because we are not connected to our emotions. We do not we don't have our intuition. We're not used to listening to our intuition. So what happens is in the beginning, you use them for your symptoms. And then a lot of times you can start to use them for your emotional state because your emotional state, you might be able to figure out if you're sad or you're happy or, maybe you're having some anxious feelings or something of that sort. And then you're like, oh, I didn't know I can use essential oils emotionally And that's because you can, because emotions are vibrations and essential oils vibrate too. Everything vibrates. We actually live our lives through emotions. And I'm going to actually teach a class about that soon, but not yet because I'm going to be going to leadership soon. So I kind of want to keep this. And I might want to teach it first a couple of times in person before I actually bring it to Facebook, but we'll see. Okay, so and then the last way that you're gonna, so as you graduate through symptoms, you might do for emotions. And then after that, you're gonna use essential oils by intuition. I didn't understand that at first, but the more I've been starting to listen to my emotions and listen to my intuition, now I choose oils based on how I feel, based on what I think. There is no wrong way. There's no wrong thing to use. So another modality that you can use, and the last one I'm going to talk about tonight, is called crystals. And crystals you can get at a crystal shop. So there's some downtown in Austin. People can go downtown to Nature's Treasures. Some people can, I don't know what it's called in Las Vegas, but it's off of Sahara, I think, that you can go there. There's a crystal shop in there for years. I didn't even know it was there. So you can go there. And what you do is, if you're going to go into a shop like that, you want to approach one of the people that work there and say, hey, I'm having these things going on with me. Maybe you're having anxious feelings. Maybe you're not feeling very grounded. Maybe you want something to help you with attention. There's all kinds of things that you can use, because what happens is and so let me explain. Many crystals can be used to connect you to the earth. And not only will those positive vibes in stones clear your negative energy, but they protect your energy. And some stones can even amplify your emotional vibration, which is amazing. So, so what you want to do is you'll go there and you'll tell them, and then they will, give you crystals that you can use. If you have pockets, you can put them in your pockets. If you want to put them on your body, you can put them on your body. And what happens though is with those, when you bring them home, you need to make sure that you clear them. You need to figure out what kind of crystal you have, and you need to go and look at how you clear them. Some of them can be cleared with water and salt water. Some of them need to be cleared with the moon, something of that sort. So there's different energies out there that you can actually use to help you get through some of the emotional states in our lives. So, but they must be cleared in order to maintain their efficacy. So that's something that you need to know, that you don't just get them and then keep them forever. You have to clean them and clear them. Okay. And then there's different ones have different ways. And I'm not doing a crystals class, so I'm not going to teach you that. But all right. So I hope that, so let me explain. In this whole thing that I just did for you tonight in the short amount of time, is that my intention is to help you understand that everything in this universe and this earth vibrates. You vibrate, and ultimately you have the power of your attraction. That's awesome. So I'm going to leave you with the knowing and the knowledge that you have the power. It's in your hands. You are not a victim. You get to choose how you're going to vibrate. Do you want to be magnetic, or do you want to be the one that people avoid because they're like, every time I'm around that person, I feel like they're just draining me from my energy, and they're just draining me. I just can't be around that person. You get to choose who you want to be. So the key to your dreams and your desire, it's the key to your dreams and desires. If something is not working in your life, take the time to analyze your emotions. Take the time to sit down and figure out who you are. Ask yourself, am I vibrating? What am I ask yourself, what am I vibrating to contribute to this? What is my contribution to what's going on around me? Take a look at yourself and say, what are my emotions, and what are they? High vibration emotions, or are they low vibration emotions? And how long have I been in this emotional state? Have I allowed myself to be here for months? Have I allowed, and I've allowed myself to be there for years. And I can't tell you that I won't do it again. But for right now, I can help you, and I can help you with what I've learned. Right? So some things you want to ask yourself is, what is the lesson I need to learn to move from this energy? That's really important. Because if you don't do that, you're going to continue to learn that lesson over and over and over and over and over and over again until you do figure out what it is. So what is the lesson that I need to learn? How come I'm still stuck? Why do I still feel like a victim? Why do I keep dating guys that treat me the way that they do? Why do I attract friends that don't want to be around me and don't want to call me and don't want to this and da da da? You have to say, what am I? What's inside of me? So You need to know, what do you wish to attract? And what do you need to do inside of you to make that possible? How can you, to ask yourself, how can I make that possible? What do I need to vibrate through my cellular structure? What do I need to use to help me get to that point so that I can attract the things that I want in my life? This is your life. Take control of it. Take your power back and decide what it is that you want. So I hope that is the end of the class, and I hope that was something that I didn't realize it had gotten so dark in here. Let me see, give me 1 second and we'll go ahead and close out in a minute. Let me just see who's here and say hi to everybody that has hopped on with me tonight. So Dominique, Benito, and Sarah, how are you? Sarah, hi. And then Kim, thank you for hopping on, Kim, and Stormy. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you guys being here. And I hope that this information has helped you so that you can make great decisions in your life and move forward from whatever energy you were into something that you want to be tomorrow. All right, you guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Bye. Oh, let me get out of here. That's right. Stop.